You're commuting home with Katz and Cosby. Now, here's John Katzimatidis and Rita Cosby on 77 WABC.
Yeah, wow. We have General Kellogg
yes,
on. Is he on?
Yes.
With us today is Lieutenant General Kellogg. Well, General, there's so many things going on. Where do you want to start?
Well, anywhere you want to start. It's a slow news day, so where do we want to
go? Well, I mean, is Iran ready to launch another a real attack or a Hollywood movie attack?
You know, here's where I'm coming from on that. I've been watching this now, and I thought Armageddon was right around the corner. Now we're heading into day 7, and they haven't done anything. And I'm thinking, wait a second. If you look at this really hard, part of what Israel has done is they've reset credibility by themselves in the Middle East. And credibility is, deterrence. And deterrence is based off credibility, which is underlined by both will and capacity or capability to do something. And I think the Iranians now realize this. When Israel went in and killed the number one Hamas leader, Haniyeh, in Tehran, and then they killed the number 2 Hezbollah guy, Shukr, and then they did the actions deep into Yemen when they went after the Houthis, which was a very complex military operation, and then what you saw them do with the Iron Dome and how well they protected it, even though they're fighting north, south, east, and west, they've got to have the supreme leader of Iran kind of go, do I really want to join this party or not? Because if I was Israel, I would have already sent the message out, in how the United States should have done it also through our protective power, because we don't have diplomatic rights relations with Iran. We do it through the Swiss. I would have said to the supreme leader, you attack Israel, fine, but your life's at risk. We're going to come after you. Sort of like we did after Soleimani. And then he turns to Hezbollah and he tells Hassan Nasrallah, the leader of Hezbollah, and said, we've got your number 2. We're going to get you as well. And then he also tells the Iranians, after we get rid of your supreme leader, we're going to take out all of your nuclear sites. And now we can get there. Because if we prove that, we went to attack the air defense facilities around Natanz, which is one of their major nuclear facilities, and tell them that. And then the Iranians right now are kind of going, let me take a deep breath on this. And that's the reason why I think it's been 6 now going on to 7 days they haven't done anything, because now they've got an option. They can do a pinprick attack and say, okay, we did it. We hit dirt. We're done. Thank you very much. And kind of resort to the low level of violence. Or they can go all in and make it massive. And if they do, the Israelis will respond in dramatic fashion. And the United States has an option. The United States can sit back and do nothing, which we are doing, or they can remind everybody in the region, if the Israelis go against you, we are with them 100%. It's your call, Supreme Leader. It's your call, Nasrallah, who leads Hezbollah, and leave it up to them. And I think a little bit of it right now is they have some second thoughts.
And where are we? General?
Yes, I'm with you.
Okay. Judge?
General, I'll tell you what troubles me is once this starts unfolding, you never know how it's going to play out, diplomatically and militarily. I think if there's substantial civilian losses in Israel, I think Israel is really going to have to go in and hit hard because of their credibility and because they have to be as good as their word. And what troubles me is that Biden and Harris have already indicated, well, you can work defensively, but you can't work affirmatively and aggressively. What do you say about that?
Yeah, it's really unfortunate that the United States has said that. I'll go back to what Richard Nixon did in 1973 in the Yom Kippur War, when the war was not going real well for the Israelis. He told the United States Air Force, put all of your transport aircraft you got on the runway, and he loaded it with munitions, and he flew nonstop, all of it, into Israel. That's what we need to say. We need to say to the entire region, to the Iranians and to Hezbollah, and even to the Russians or the Chinese, I don't care who they say it to, but say, you do this, we are all in. We've got a carrier battle group, the Teddy Roosevelt, off the shore of the Persian Gulf. We have an amphibious ready group.
But General, they're not even opening up the Suez Canal. They could do that in 3 days.
Well, they can do anything, but they don't want to do it. What I'm telling you is what we would have done under a Trump administration. Yeah. And I'm telling you what you are seeing is reality in action with the Biden administration, and it should make concern. But I don't think the Israelis care. I think the Israelis have said this is a fight to the finish. And I don't think the Iranians are ready for that, because they now know, based on what the Israelis have done, they've got the capacity the capability to do so and the will to do it as well. And they are now saying, we're going to come after regime survival, yours, if we have to. So I think that is what they've got. By the way, that's how you establish deterrence. You establish that deterrence, making the other person afraid or respect you, and that's what the Israelis have done. So this thing has ways to play. I think the next 24, 48 hours will be key. If nothing happens within the next 48 hours, I think what I'm saying to you is proven true, that the Israelis have reset deterrence in the region, and we ought to take a lesson from that.
We're going to go to Robert United Way. What say you?
Well, I have the honor of speaking with my good friend, General Kellogg, who, we share seats on America First Policy Institute, and he is just an amazing, amazing man, and we're so blessed as a country to have him. So I just wanted to say that, and also, I think, and I know in the last administration you were working hard, but I think you're working harder than ever with this administration because there's so much weakness out there. And like John was saying, we have the greatest Navy in the world sitting out there, and we can't even get commercial ships through there. We have the opportunity to clean house over there, and we're just sitting there with our motors running and looking so weak.
Yeah, we really are, Robert, and that's the frustration, because we've had a lot of talks, based on events we've gone to at Mar-a-Lago and down in Fort Worth as well, and it's just frustrating to somebody like me and to you and the other Americans that we've got this great capability, the capacity of a great military, and we're just afraid to use it. But I'll tell you, part of that is because it's DNA. What I meant to that is it's Biden's DNA. He's always been risk-averse. Remember, this is the guy, President Biden, when he was vice president, when Obama made that dramatic decision to go after Osama bin Laden, the one person in the Situation Room said, don't go that night, is Joe Biden. Think about that. He's the same guy that in his book, Duty, Robert Gates, the former Secretary of Defense and former director of the CIA under Obama, said Joe Biden has been wrong on nearly every national security event in the last 40 years. He's still the president. He still makes those decisions. And I don't think he's willing to make those decisions, which is unfortunate.
Understood. Well, anything else, gentlemen?
We love General Kellogg.
Absolutely. We all
Thank
do.
you, General. We
Thank you, General, and we'll catch up again real soon.
Thanks, sir. Thanks for having me.